welcome to tub.o. I'm Terry.
I'm Ron.
And today we're going to be discussing a really cool topic.
Oh, what is that, Terry?
Well, I was thinking maybe, I don't know, our favorite top 10 Batman villains?
That sounds pretty good. You're wearing a Batman villain shirt, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Oh, very swanky.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
All right, I'll let you. What do you want to do? Start with number 10?
You want to go ahead?
Well,
you take the first. I'll take you take the first 10, number 10, and then I'll follow after you.
Sounds
okay?
good. Yeah, it sounds good. My number 10 will probably have to be Penguin. Great villain. More of a crime boss, I guess, more say than a super villain, but still a good villain nonetheless for Batman. I think I like him as number 10.
I like Penguin. My number 10 would have to be Two-Face.
Oh, that's a good, interesting one. Yeah.
I'm setting the bar a little high, I know, but
Yeah.
I always thought it was really cool. We had that split personality. One side was he had the coin, good side, bad side.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that was really cool, and pretty much, I guess the bad side was Two-Face and the good side was Harvey. And I always thought he was a great character. Really cool Batman film. Just really like him. That's my number 10.
Oh, well, my number 9 is a little different than what you've said. Mine is the ventriloquist. Great villain, I think. Very insane. He's just as insane as Two-Face. He has a puppet that tells him what to do. He's a great villain. He's fun to watch. And you don't know how insane this guy really is. So I enjoy anything the ventriloquist is in. It's always good.
And you're talking about Scarface, of course, right?
Scarface, yeah.
That's the puppet.
Yeah.
Well, my number 9 is different from yours. It's I guess it's a mix. It's kind of the same thing, but a bit of a mix. I don't know if you consider this cheating or not, but it's Court of Owls and Talon. Talon actually works for the Court of Owls, and the Court of Owls is this high society that's new. It's a newer thing, and they're in Gotham, and they police the town, and they really take it to Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think if you have never seen it, check it out. It's really good stuff. I love it. Got a little bit of their them in the Batman vs. Robin video.
Okay, it's actually a newer villain, right? Or is it? I don't know. I don't know much about them.
Yes, they're newer villains.
My number 8 would have to be the Mad Hatter.
Oh, an
usual interesting villain, just as crazy as the other two I mentioned, but it's eccentric just the same. I always enjoyed the Mad Hatter, whether it be the animated series, the comic book, or the old '60s TV show. Mad Hatter is always fun.
Mad Hatter is a great. I'm gonna go a little different. Clayface, my number 8.
Mm-hmm.
Loved his shape-shifting ability. He could be anybody, and you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. Well, so to me, Clayface, I would have ranked him higher just because of that, because he makes him a more formal villain.
Well, see, I like Clayface, but I think I got a few that I like better, a little higher. Maybe not the most formidable, but still, he's still number 8, a solid number 8 on mine.
Yeah.
On mine, he's a really powerful guy. I know I'm ranking him low, like I said, with Two-Face, but it's just the ones up higher I couldn't help. Those are the ones I love from my childhood and just who I love. And nothing against Clayface, I love him, but he's just not one of my all-time favorites.
Gotcha. That makes sense. My number 7 would be Harley Quinn. Just because she's only been around about 20 years in the cartoon, didn't transition to the comic book, kind of taking a life of her own, but as villains go, as a lot of villains I like better. So number 7 for her, I think, just for where she is.
I understand. My number 7 would be Penguin. Your number 10. Just always liked Penguin. Thought he was a really cool villain. Liked the way he was kind of, had that walk and everything. Kind of tried to be like I guess he's more of a refined villain. He's like a mob boss kind of dude. That's kind of liked him. He's cool.
Well, my number 6 I pick is Catwoman.
Catwoman's awesome.
Great love-hate relationship with her and Batman.
Oh yes.
One of my favorite villains, but not as that. I mean, I've got some better than that, but she's still a good one. I put her up as high as she did, just mainly because of looks and her love-hate affair with Batman.
She is a really awesome villainess. I do like her. I guess that's what you kind of classify her as a villain.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, now number 6 is going to be a bit more the Riddler.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved the Riddler. Don't know why. Just loved him. Loved his riddles. Loved his intricate death traps that always failed on Batman, and his obsession with Batman. I love him. I think he's awesome.
It's a good one. That's a good one. That's word number 6 for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Number 5 has to be Clayface for me. Great villain, shape-shifting powers. I think he should be a little bit tougher for Batman to fight. Unfortunately, he always comes up really shorter than some of the other villains, and I don't understand why. He's a great shapeshifter, great abilities, very strong. I think he should be better, but it's where I put him as number 5, the midway point.
Well, my number 5 is Harley. I love Harley. She's one of my favorite villains. I love the fact that she's so kind of sing-song, but in the next second she could be just deadly and ready to kick your butt and kill you. And of course, with her pudding.
Yeah. Well, number 4 for me would be Scarecrow.
Scarecrow is an awesome
Great villain, has the fear gas, which I think they should use more often than they did. Still a great villain. I enjoyed him a lot. Pretty much everything I've seen him or read about him, he's just a great villain to have around.
And I agree. That's my number 4, Scarecrow. Kudos to everything he just said. The fear toxin. And he's also a cool-looking villain on top of that. And I'm like Ron. I really think he's an awesome villain, and probably could do so much more with him.
My number 3 is the Red Hood. You didn't see him much. Of course, they used him as the origin for the Joker. They used him years later for the Jason Todd Robin. I think the Red Hood just is a great villain. You should bring him back more as a gangster style. Love the character, love the costume. Just can't get better than that. I think one of the best ones.
I actually didn't think of Red Hood. That's a really cool. That's a really cool one. I didn't think about him. Admittedly so. But number 3 is Deathstroke. Deadly guy, assassin. Just think he's super awesome. He can go toe to toe with about any superhero out there, including Batman, and he's just awesome. I like the idea of a human being, which now he's got the healing factor. I really don't think about that Deathstroke, but I think about just the humanized Deathstroke, and I love him. I think he's awesome.
I would consider him more of a Teen Titans villain, or
Yeah,
right
he
now with
is,
Arrow.
but he's also
But it's a good Batman villain. Good
the
choice.
Batman villain.
Good
so,
choice for
yes,
Batman.
true.
Yeah, that's a good choice for Batman. My number 2 is the Joker. All-time classic villain. He made clowns scary. You know, first scary clown I ever read about was him.
True.
He's not my number 1 though, but he's my number 2. I think he does get overused occasionally. He was in the '90s and before, but I think he's a great villain. Can't argue with him as one of Batman's all-time best villains. One of, not the best.
True. Well, I have to disagree with you. My number 2 would be Ra's al Ghul. Love Ra's al Ghul. He is one of the greatest. He has all these years. In fact, he's been alive so these years and has the Lazarus pit bringing him back. And the fact that he knows who the Batman is, figured it out by himself, didn't need help, figured it out on his own. And I always remember from the cartoon series, I don't know if he did it in the comics, but he's a detective.
Mm-hmm.
I love Ra's al Ghul. He's just a great villain. Stupendous villain, love him. But he's still not the best in my opinion.
Yeah. See, I never read much on him, so I was like, I just kind of left him alone because I never read much where they battle each other. So I just left him alone. But my number 1, if it wasn't for this villain, there'd be no Batman. The murderer of Wayne's parents.
Oh, fair point, sir.
If it wasn't for this guy, whoever it was, they changed him several times over the years. Jack Napier in the old Tim Burton Batman movie to, whoever it was in the recent comics, they changed it to somebody else. Changed it over and over again. Still, if it wasn't for that guy who killed his parents, he wouldn't be Batman.
That's true. My number 1's more obvious. I love the Mark Hamill rendition in the old Batman the Animated Series. That's one of my favorite Batman series ever. Actually, it's my favorite Batman series ever. I love that. That's what got me really into Batman as a kid. I loved that. Thought it was stupendous. And that was my first. That was my first joke. My first real look at the Joker. Well, I saw him in the other things, the old Adam West show and everything. This is the one that really kind of made me a little, really uneasy with the Joker, because you can finally get to see his, insanity here, And the other one, he's kind of quirky, kind of
campy.
Yeah, very campy. But I just love the Joker, how insane this guy is. That's always just baffled me. I love the Joker. He is probably my all-time favorite villain, not including Batman villain. I love the Joker.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's a good top 10 list. Any questions, comments? You guys feel free to post on the bottom. Terry, anything else you want to add?
I was going to say if you had any honorable mentions you wanted to throw in.
None right offhand. How about you?
Oh, I did want to throw in Mr. Freeze. I didn't have him on the list.
Yeah, he wasn't on either list.
He was an awesome villain, though. Also, Poison Ivy. She was on either list. I thought she was a great villainess, deserved to be in there. I didn't have Catwoman in there, but you did. And I always like Bane. I like him. He's not my top 10, but I like him.
A newer villain.
Yeah.
Last 20 years.
Victor Zsasz, I like him. I just think he's cool. He's got that kind of dementia about him, too.
Has he been on Gotham yet? The show?
Yes.
Because I haven't watched Gotham. So
I'll watch it. I'm not. The more I watch it, I like it, but not as much as I used to when I first started. But hey,
each their own.
Yeah, that's true. Well, until later, I'm Terry.
I'm Ron.